Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, honorable senators, for giving me this privilege. I'm Herb Vadney, representing Belknap 2, which is Guilford and Meredith. I serve on the House Science, Technology, and Energy Committee, and am here today to speak in favor of a moratorium on elective wind turbines and elective transmission lines. A moratorium will give us a chance to evaluate the necessity for and the value of such facilities. I will speak very briefly on 4 topics: unstable power, longevity, renewable portfolio, and the land north of Exit 20. That's right, all 4 of those in 3 minutes. Stability. It's difficult to keep the electrical grid in balance when there are variations in the production from the various sources. Wind's power is so inconsistent, that is one of the major culprits in that inconsistency in the grid. We now know that sites in Dixville Notch, New Hampshire, and in Sheffield, Vermont, are 2 examples of industrial turbine facilities that are having problems selling power due to the grid instability. Next, longevity. One thing that I have been unable to get to the bottom of, but I find very worrisome, is how quickly these wind turbines wear out, how quickly their power declines. Most of us first thought that if you installed these wind turbines, they would sit up there on the hill for nearly forever, spinning away, generating clean power. We're now learning that their average life is far less than 20 years, and their generation rates and capacity factors decline precipitously as well. Next, renewable portfolio. A half-dozen years ago, it seemed like a good idea to set a goal so everyone could get underway building renewable energy systems and products. As with many goals, the first thing you look for is a catchy slogan. So we came up with 25 and 25. Real catchy, but although it was a cute idea, I submit it may be one of the things that gave us and still does unreasonable expectations and encourage us to leap to renewable energy projects without enough pragmatic, realistic analysis and just plain Yankee common sense. Quite simply, much of this year's discussion in New Hampshire is about issues that have been identified, quantified, and often rejected in other states and countries during the past 2 decades. Finally, land north of Exit 20. Think for a moment of Interstate 93, Exit 20. Turn west, you go to Franklin. Turn east, you go to Laconia. Today, there's very little manufacturing north of that exit. We've lost the paper mills, almost all of the machining and manufacturing facilities, and today's economy is almost exclusively dependent on the following 4 factors: outdoor tourism, second homes, forestry products, and retired people. Some of those are related. For the most part, these items are dependent on our clean lakes, our mountain peaks, and hiking, fishing, boating, and all of the outdoor sports. To destroy so many mountain peaks with these windmills seems to me foolish. And the last item, I just want to say I strongly support and recommend a moratorium on the siting of energy facilities. We need time to evaluate how to proceed. It's not adequate to continue reviewing individual sites and projects without a vision of what would constitute full build-out and how such full build-out would impact our tourism-based economy. There have been projections that our mountains could conceivably support several thousand of these large turbines, and who knows how many miles of power lines and tall towers. The currently proposed projects already pose a major threat to our region. That they are only the beginning, that they are only the beginning is even more worrisome. If I were positive such destruction of our natural beauty would solve our energy problems for generations to come, I might be a bit more forgiving of our current approach. But the issue of inconsistent wind that produces inconsistent power that is not of great value to the energy grid, and the issues surrounding the many large towers and transmission lines covering our northern state caused me to ask for a time out, a moratorium. Let's take a breather and sort truth from fiction. We need to review the SEC to ensure all factors, including, I would add, economic viability, long-term durability, are being considered. We need to stop thinking of the SEC as simply a planning board function and simply an environmental impact review for localized areas, and at least ask some very pointed questions on effectiveness, cost-benefit questions, ask questions on full build-out and where it would take us in order to ensure good decisions are made for New Hampshire. And I close with how much damage will we allow to be done to our mountains, scenic beauty, and way of life in the name of clean energy. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your